far as legal is concerned, I think they have done very, very well, considering all the constraints. For example, the office as of now does not have a vehicle, although every effort has been made,
to get
and we are hoping that the issue of mobility will be addressed. But you find that they are
maybe chairman donate one.
At the time I was a private practitioner.
He's a known philanthropist. I'm sure that wouldn't be
a problem. Yeah, exactly.
So they travel by taxi from Banjul to the High Court, Kanifing, Brikama, where they have to do cases in the provinces. Mostly, we arrange to get a lift for them.
Okay.
It's not very pleasant.
So mobility is a
big constraint.
Okay.
Now, based on the effective, or based on the nature of their work and all the frustration that they go through, I think, for very good reasons, I think the lawyers are doing very, very well. Okay. In fact, strangely, when the position was advertised, no Gambian has applied for the position.
Why?
I do not know.
Okay, maybe that's up to the Gambians who should apply.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe because of the financial, because these people are paid salaries monthly, whereas in private practice, you don't have that kind of money.
You pay yourself anyway.
Exactly. But again, it's all a question of sacrifice.
So all the lawyers with the agency are non-nationals?
Exactly, except for one.
Except for one, yeah. I must also add in there that apart from the in-house lawyers, we call them, they're number 4 now, I think. Now, we do have, the Act provides for a register of lawyers. I think this should be understood too, that once the register comes from the Bar Association, lawyers, private lawyers, do get a chance to come and help, either pro bono or low bono, as the case may be.
Pro bono, let's simplify it here. Pro bono meaning free of charge. And now low bono
at a low
cost. It's a new terminology.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and I'm ashamed to say how much we do give to lawyers, private lawyers. It's very small, who come to help us at the level of the Children's Court and other courts. But there is a register that we are developing, and we can call any private lawyer in this country who registers, to come to be assigned a case, to go on. Yes. Okay. So that is the position. I don't know if I can say briefly something about, because it was mentioned about the police station, how it works in practice. That we also have under the Act, under Section 34, 30 subsection 4, the agency may cause legal advice to be given free in any office of the agency, courthouse, police station, or prison in any civil or criminal matter by legal practitioners appointed by the agency or acting on behalf of the agency. So what that is showing, Modu, is that access to legal aid is always there. And what is that access? Access means that we open the road for everybody to be treated fairly and to be given a fair hearing.
Access to justice.
Access to justice, yes, access to justice. Now, in criminal cases, as His Worship said earlier on, it starts from the point of possible disadvantage, that's the point of arrest or detention, as the case may be. It could be a police station, it could be prisons, or any other place of detention. It could be at the national drugs place, and so on. And so at that point, that is the point where legal aid comes in, and to give advice, first of all, telling you of your rights. You have a right to this, to be, as he said, to be silent, or to consult a lawyer, and all the rest of it. So I just said I will mention that, and that in practice, how we do it, legal aid, we have done it on many occasions. Lawyers would go, even I myself as head of agency, to a police station. We have been to various police stations in this country to speak to people who are arrested, and the arrest is made known to us. We have been several times to Mile 2 prisons to speak to people who have been detained there endlessly. And for 11 years, they've been there. And we have gotten onto their cases, brought their cases out to court, and thank God those cases are now moving. And there are many more of those cases. And another instance would be some who are there in custody, remanded in custody. Some could be even the judge saying, okay, case adjourned, no bail, go back to custody. And sometimes they go back to custody, somebody goes back to custody, and never, you don't see him again.
Appear again.
Yes, they're just detained there, detained there, detained there. So our case now is to visit prisons.
Your role there is to go and visit them.
Yeah, we do that, yes, and we speak, we try to speak to the Director General of Prisons or whoever the case person would be, the authority he designates, and try to get a list of people in custody who have been just waiting. And as a follow-up to, we have written to Director General of Prison, Inspector General of Police, Permanent Secretary, Interior, National Drugs, so that we are all in the picture, to remind them of Section 30, that we are constituted to be able to follow up, and that they should make proper provision for us to be able to speak to some of these inmates, these people detained, in a free atmosphere also. And that's the point we are now following. They give us the opportunity, but it's not always in a free atmosphere, you have people standing over your head, prison warders and so on, and that's not the idea of the act. We should be able to speak to them, freely and so on, yeah.
Okay.
So.
Let me just add one or two things. Because it would be rather unfair for us to conclude this program or this program without making mention of some of our partners.
Yeah.
Now, the Attorney General Chambers, of course, is a project director, and they have done quite a number of things. They guide us in the preparation of our accounts, soliciting funds for us.
Okay.
And of course, the Chief Justice, Honorable Justice again. He also has been very, very instrumental, very supportive, and has given us every guidance that we require from him. In any event, like I said, the financial constraints, we by now ought to be in a position to generate our own funds as covered by the Act.
The Act, okay.
But there are certain measures that have to be in place before we can even get into that. So we are pursuing those areas so that we can also generate our own funds. With this minimum wage being put in place. Anyway, we must make it very, very clear that it does not necessarily, because that is legal, it doesn't necessarily mean that anybody can walk into legal and say, I want a lawyer, I must have a lawyer.
Okay, that's what I was coming.
You must qualify for it. Except children's court and capital offenses
as you
for now. And again, with our limited resources, our services does not extend beyond the High Court also. Let me also emphasize that. Because you may say, well, I cannot afford it. No, I have an appeal matter, in the Court of Appeal, or I have an appeal matter in the Supreme Court. That we cannot.
It's a no-go area. It's a no-go area. Okay.
No, because of funds.
I know, because of the concerns that you have financially.
If you can go through the High Court, or through the Magistrates Court, and you wish to appeal to the Court of Appeal, then you need to think about how you are able to afford the funds for those courts. So if you go to the Court of Appeal and say, I'm going to court the legal aid, I've always said, no. We cannot afford it.
We cannot afford it. Okay.
In view of the limited number of
lawyers we have. Well, we have a minute to wrap up, and Gay, your last words as far as the talk show is concerned.
I would just, of course, thank the agency through its chairperson, Justice Jabate, and of course the administrator, Mr. Charles Thomas. And most importantly, I would want to thank my office for allowing me to be part of this program. I mean, we kickstarted the discussions as in access to justice with regards to the Gambia as early as, I think, around 2005. Okay. And, the processes we put in place led to, the drafting of the act, the review, all those kind of things. And we're happy we have our head office here. We're happy we're part of this, and we will definitely continue to give guidance and any kind of support we can. So we congratulate the agency, we congratulate the government, and then